Hi, everybody. I know we looked at this a little bit yesterday, but theoretical versus experimental. In a class of 10 boys and 10 girls, what is the chance of choosing a boy? Well, we've all done probability before, and we know that the chance of something happening is the number of desired outcomes over the number of total possible outcomes. Our desired outcomes is boys, so 10. Our total is all 20 people, so 20. Our chance of drawing a boy, therefore, is 1/2. Obviously, 10 boys, 10 girls, 1/2. But this is theoretical. We didn't actually do it. This is just what would happen in an ideal world. Let's see what happens if we actually do it. Well, one way of actually carrying out the experiment is to get 20 people and to line them all up and choose at random. But let's not do that. Actually, getting people would take too long and be a waste of time. There are other ways to experiment. For instance, option number 1. We can have a spinner with 20 numbers. Evens can be girls, odds can be boys. We have 20 numbers, half of them are girls, half of them are boys. Let's try that out. Here's my spinner. It's already divided into 20 sections, and you can see that we have boys, odds, and girls, even. So let's spin. And we get an odd. That's a boy. And again, another odd. All right, that was 20 trials. And we can see that our experimental probability was not exactly like our theoretical probability. In this case, boys had a 9 out of 20 chance of being chosen, which is not exactly the 10 out of 20 that we expected. But the thing is, the more trials that we do, the closer our experimental and our theoretical will be to each other. If we did 100 spins, they would be very close. There are other options. We could draw something like a number between 1 and 20. And we could do the same. Evens are girls and odds are boys. We could draw marbles, and a certain color is boys, another color is girls. We had a 20-sided die, which your calculators tomorrow will have. Odds could be boys, evens could be girls. We could roll the dice 20 times. There are lots of different options for experimenting without actually having to go out and collect people. Let's look at another example. Your mom packs an apple in your lunch 80% of the time. Over 10 days, how many apples will you probably eat? Well, the number of desired outcomes is 8. And out of 10, because 80% is 8 out of 10. 8 apples out of 10 days. That's theoretical. Let's try experimental. There are lots of different ways we could test this. We have to think, what's our goal? Well, we know that we want 8 out of 10 sections of something. That will represent our apple. 2 out of 10 should be no apple. And we should probably run our trial 10 times, 1 for each day. Do you have any ideas? Well, we could always roll a dice, and numbers 8 through 10 could be apple. Or we could spin a spinner with certain sections marked for apple. We could always draw numbers and have certain numbers be apple and other numbers be no apple. And we should do all of these 10 times. My favorite is spinner. Here I have a spinner with 8 sections that are red and 2 sections that are blue. If we land on a red section, Mom packed us an apple. If we land on a blue section, Mom didn't pack us an apple. And we should run it 10 times because we're looking at 10 days. And those are our results. Amazingly, we got an apple 8 out of 10 times, and no apple 2 out of 10 times, which means that our experimental is equal to our theoretical. We expected to get 8 out of 10. The code word for today is apple.